morning, everybody. John Ward, Director of Emergency Management here in Clay County, and today we're coming to you from the Oak Leaf Athletic Park, where we have one of our testing facilities set up and is going very successful. To date, we have 303 positive cases and 22 deaths. And as I'll say every time that we do this and I get in front of the public, this is day 63 for our unified command and our county and partner employees that have been working the long hours towards this COVID-19. I'm told I can't say the day number anymore at the EOC. Testing, we're doing testing for our transportation disadvantaged areas, and as stated today, we're at Oak Leaf Athletic Park. We're here from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and we still have appointments available. And then tomorrow we're going to be going to Walter Odom Park, or better known as Bell Med. We're going to be there on Thursday and Friday from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And again, these is for Clay County residents, and we ask that you bring an ID and your own PIN. And please call 877-252-9362 to schedule your appointment. Beginning Monday, we're going to be moving our testing to a fixed location at the Bear Run Department of Health Clinic, and that'll be located at 3229 Bear Run Boulevard off of Blanding Boulevard. And this is going to be Monday through Friday, and it's going to be 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and then 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And we ask that you call the 877-252-9362 to schedule the appointments. We're going to have every 10-minute appointments there, as what we have out at these sites. So far, some good news. Out of all our testing that we've done at our remote sites for our transportation disadvantaged areas, there's been no positives to date that have came out of these testing sites. We've had other positive from other testing means, but we've had no positives that have came out of these testing sites. As we reopen, rehire, and reunite Clay County, again, let's remember we're at quarter speed. Stay calm and do not get complacent as we near the end of this, because we don't want a rebound in surge in cases. Phase 1 began last Monday the 4th, and then this past Monday, personal cosmetology services opened up, such as barbershops, nail salons, and hair salons. Heather and I both got our haircut this week at different locations, and I'd like to thank Carrie and her team down in Keystone and wish all businesses the best of luck as we open and transition to what is the new norm. We're waiting on the governor to announce his phase 2 plan. The expectation is that's going to be coming very soon, potentially in the next week, and we're going to wait and see what that's going to look like. But as we continue, we just need to remember we need the physical distance, keep our groups below 10 at this time as we enter in the phase 2 and continue to reopen, rehire, and reunite Clay County. This week we also began with our rehire portion. We partnered with CareerSource. And CareerSource is now at what I'm going to call the Godbold Building at the Clay County Agriculture Center, which is right next to the fairgrounds. And we've partnered with them, and they came in to do a reemployment service for our citizens. This is not unemployment. This is to help get our citizens connected with jobs. And there's been many citizens that have came in and been successfully connected to the many jobs that are available here in Clay County. This is open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., 5 days a week, and we ask to schedule an appointment that you go to careersourcenefl.com to schedule that appointment and come in and get reconnected with jobs. We'll have staff there available to help job seekers in getting on the Employ Florida, which is the statewide online tool designed to help connect workers with jobs. We ask that you bring a valid Social Security number, a valid email address, a work history resume, and then also you must wear a mask to come in for everybody's safety in this. If you've previously registered on the Employ Florida website and you're having password issues, please call 904-356-JOBS to get your password corrected. My apologies. And again, we have many jobs available in Clay County. I was speaking with them yesterday. There's jobs from Home Depot, CVS, many administrative positions, many hospital positions, driver positions, and nursing home positions that are available here in Clay County that our citizens can get connected with. So I'd like to thank our partners with CareerSource for setting this up and help getting our citizens reemployed. Feeding Clay County, again, as the feeding mission continues here in Clay County, remember to go to alert.claycountygov.com to go ahead and register and get your barcode for our different food services. We did begin starting today. We have new feeding locations that are opening in Clay County. Due to the amount of traffic we've been having, we went ahead and partnered with our school district, and we're opening 4 locations at some of our schools that are not doing the breakfast and lunch feeding, and we're opening those up, and this is going to be more of a permanent fixture. So on Wednesdays, we're going to be at Lakeside Junior High from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. On Thursdays, we're going to be at Lake Asbury Junior High from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. On Fridays, we're going to be at Wilkinson Junior High from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Keystone Heights Elementary will also be on Friday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And I'd like to thank our partners who have been doing the food distribution centers, Keystone Safety Net, Springs Church, Church of 1122, and the First Baptist Church of Middleburg, who've transitioned to our new sites to continue help these feeding locations. And again, remember to go to alert.claycountygov.com to sign up for your barcode. And if you have any issues, please call 877-252-9362 for assistance. Our food commodities to date, again, these numbers are it's very amazing as to how many numbers our team is feeding, but then also how much need is in our community. To date, our food distribution centers have served 519,842 meals. Our schools have served 105,311 meals to our kids. And our senior centers have served 15,800 meals for a grand total of 640,953 meals that have been served to our citizens here in Clay County. So we'd ask that please register and please continue, because this is a desperate need in our community. Our call center is continually answering questions, especially as we're reopening, rehiring, and reuniting Clay County. But today they've fielded 8,630 calls for service, answering questions and helping our citizens as we move forward. And now let me change up the discussion a little bit and kind of move into what I'm going to call blue skies events, or events that are outside of coronavirus. Okay, we've had a lot of questions asked to us about why we are not under a burn ban. Okay, currently the Ketch Byram Drought Index, or KDBI for short, what we utilize is a continuous reference scale for estimating the dryness of the soil and duff layers in Clay County. That's actually a statewide program, but in Clay County that number is currently 308. On the dryness scale. We've been fortunate. We've had some on and off rain, and it's helped keep it down a little bit, but we are currently monitoring this, and Fire Rescue's done a phenomenal job in stopping these fires that we have had to quickly put them out so they didn't come into anything. Generally, Clay County will begin looking at a burn ban when we start getting around the 600 in the KDBI, or we start having very aggressive or sporadic fire pattern. And we have not seen that as of yet, but we're going to continue to monitor as we move forward before we start enacting any type of burn ban or anything like that. And we ask citizens to continue to be cautious as we move through what is normally our wildfire season during this time. And then the last thing I'd like to discuss is hurricane season. Yes, unfortunately, we're coming up on 1 June, which is hurricane season, but also we're seeing a potential system that is going to be just off the east coast of Florida, or off the east coast of Bahamas, as we come into this weekend, beginning of next week. Not a lot of faith that that's really going to do anything for us. It's just more of a reminder as we're moving forward that what hurricane season is going to be. And the forecasters have predicted this is going to be a very busy season. But what I want to remind residents is I don't care if it's a busy season or a slow season. It only takes one to impact our community. And just remember, Hurricane Andrew was a slow season. So ask that community that was impacted if a busy season mattered or not. Now's the time that all of us need to take personal responsibility and prepare and develop our family plan. And if you need assistance with this, please go to alert.claycountygov.com to get those resources to help you develop that family plan. With the COVID-19 virus event, our local teams are planning and discussing what the response to evacuation and sheltering would look like. Wind will still be damaging, and floodwaters will still rise, even in the COVID-19 event. So make the plan now of where you will go. Remember, you need to relocate tens of miles, not hundreds of miles, to get away from the impact, whether it's wind or whether it's floodwaters. We're currently working with the Clay County School District and our planning team on the sheltering situation. We generally use what's called our risk shelters at our schools, and generally those are called congregate shelters. So we bring a lot of people into a Obviously, we don't want to do that now, so we're working on the plans of what could potentially be opening up more schools as shelters, because we're going to need to spread folks apart more as we're sheltering. So we're currently working on that as we move forward and finalizing that plan in hopes we do not have to execute that. So as far as in our congregate shelters, if you plan to come during an evacuation, your chance of exposure will be increased due to the gathering of folks that are there. We're going to do our best to mitigate this on any exposures, but now is the time again for all of us to take personal responsibility and make those family preparedness plans. Do I have a friend, do I have a family member or something like that I can go to versus going to a shelter of last resort? And please remember, all our up-to-date information is at alert.claycountygov.com. Clay County, remember to stay calm, stay strong, and don't forget, we're Clay Strong. I'm now going to turn it over to Ms. Heather Huffman, Director of Health Department. Thank you.
As I always do in these press conferences, I do want to go over the data so that we're making data decisions for our community. As John spoke about, 303 total cases, 301 of those are in Clay County residents, 2 are in non-residents. We have had 22 deaths, and unfortunately this virus does not distinguish between who it invades and who it can possibly have a poor outcome for. And unfortunately for us in Clay County, it has really hit some of those most vulnerable. We've had 82 hospitalizations ever hospitalized. Over 5,000 have tested, with 4,800 of those being negative. And that's a positivity rate, and you're going to hear that a lot from the governor and the president, of 5.8%. The average in Florida is 7.2%, so we are doing better when we talk about our positivity rate. So a couple of things just wanted to talk about. We continue to work with our long-term care facilities. That is where we house a lot of our most vulnerable. We're continuing to do 3 times a week call downs. And what I mean by call downs is we are calling them 3 times a week, each individual facility that we have, just a little less than 30 of them. We ask them things about their PPE needs. We ask them about their educational needs. If they are having any concerns with their residents, their staff, their screening processes, anything that could have an impact negatively on the residents within those facilities. With my staff, my epidemiology staff, to Prince Danso Day, Gina D'Ambrosio, and Mercedes Murphy, I feel blessed as a health officer to have you on my team. They're continuing to do mostly same-day contact tracing or next day. What that means is they are actually calling those individuals that test positive, doing extensive interviews with those individuals, where they had been at in 14 days prior to be testing positive, and then they are contacting those individuals that they've been in contact with to give them the information about isolating themselves for the 14-day period that we're looking for the isolation period. We have been doing increased testing in partnership with the Clay County Emergency Management and within those transportation disadvantaged areas in our community. We started off in Keystone Heights, then went to Middleburg Clay Hill area, Green Cove Springs, and now we are in the Oakleaf area as we are reopening under phase 1 guidance from the governor. Those testing sites are with appointment. They're priority for appointments. They must be Clay County residents, and they must show proof of ID along with a pen. Signs and symptoms are not required to be testing, and we've been very fortunate. The test results are coming in. We've not had any increased number of positivity, so that's very much a blessing. Lastly, I just want to talk a couple of other things. Antibody testing, that is really what people are asking a lot of questions about. Antibody testing is truly, at this point, helpful for public health surveillance. It tells us how many people have been exposed or are currently infected with the virus. It does not tell us a diagnostic of that they currently have it. It just means that they've had some exposure at one time or another or currently. Again, it's for public health surveillance. If somebody has antibodies and they want to know if they're currently infected with COVID-19, they would need to have PCR testing in order to have that diagnosis. Antibody testing is not a test that can give you a diagnosis of COVID-19. There are many places in the county that have that testing. You would need to reach out to your private provider for that testing information. The county health department does not have antibody testing, nor does the county emergency management. Lastly, I want to talk about face covering, especially as we're in phase 1 and we're moving into phase 2 for reopening under the governor's guidance. We want to make sure that the CDC continues to recommend cloth face coverings in public settings, especially where social distancing cannot be maintained, or even if it can be maintained, it's just a way to protect yourself. It's a two-pronged approach. If I'm wearing a mask, I cannot give it to someone else. And then also, if they have a mask on, they can't give it to me. So it is a two-pronged approach. So we all need to do our part to protect ourselves, but also to protect the ones that we're around when we need to go to those essential services, such as the grocery store, the pharmacy, those kinds of places. It's important to wear those face coverings appropriately, and so, you know, reduce the amount of touching of your face, readjusting the mask, those things, and then washing, if it's a cloth mask, washing those items when you're done. So at this point, I'm going to turn over to Howard Wanamaker, the county manager.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're out here at Oakley Athletic Park in this beautiful morning where health department staff, nurses, and volunteers are conducted COVID-19 testing out here. Please come on out. It's a beautiful day, and as mentioned before, over 1,000 tests here locally in our second week of testing for the county. I also want to again shout out and thank you to our first responders, our doctors, our nurses, our county employees, our health department staff, business owners and employees, all our volunteers and residents. You all are definitely making an impact, okay, and it shows in those numbers. You have to remain steady as we reopen, rehire, and reunite Clay County. We are following phase 1 of Governor DeSantis's safe, smart, step-by-step plan, and we are, as John mentioned, at quarter speed. We will monitor and continue to monitor in the days and weeks ahead of our progress so that we can move into phase 2 and into phase 3. Eventually, we will get to full speed. But we can only do that together, and we must continue to practice those recommended procedures by the CDC and social distancing and social gatherings. Again, 6 feet and no more than 10 right now. Remember, restaurants and retail businesses are operating at 25% capacity. Elective surgeries are now authorized. And as John mentioned, hair and nail salons and barbershops are now open by appointment only. All other restrictions remain. Now, a few announcements. The Clay County Public Libraries are open to retrieve and return materials, and you may use the public computers that are there at each location for an hour each day. Wi-Fi is also available in the parking lot, and patrons should browse and request the materials online. You may also call 904-541-2758 between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. for more information or help on requesting those materials. Remember, Orange Park, Green Coast Springs, and Keystone Heights are open from 1 to 6 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Then Fleming Island and Middleburg are open Tuesday and Thursday, 1 to 6 p.m. Now, on to some other openings. On Monday, the 18th of May, the Property Appraiser's main office and Green Coast Springs will be open for walk-ins. The Orange Park branch will remain closed. And please call 904-269-6305 for any questions you may have or assistance. Also, the Supervisor of Elections office opened up this past Monday, 8:30 to 4:30. They're at limited capacity, and please be patient. And also, Tax Collector's office opened this morning, bright and early. We are seeing large lines there. Please keep that social distancing while you remain in line. There is a limited capacity. They're not allowing individuals to remain in the lobby, so there's a long line out there. Please be patient. Please maintain that distancing, and they'll get to you when the time comes. Finally, as John mentioned, we're definitely focused on rehiring and those that are out there in desperate need of a job. We have partnered with CareerSource and have a re-employment center at the Jesse Godbold building at the Clay County Fairgrounds. That's open from 9 to 4, as John mentioned. It's at you need to make an appointment. So before you get there, and as John mentioned, all the restrictions and what you need to bring with you. But it's careersourcenefl.com, and you can also call 904-356-JOBS. That's 356-5627. So, finally, together we will continue to make an impact in reducing the spread of this virus as we reopen, rehire, and reunite Clay County. Thank you all, and now we'll open up for some questions. Okay, no questions at this time. Thank you all. Stay safe.